Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Gabriel Hilton, advisor to Floyd Green, admits she was wrong. Gabriel Hilton, who was seen in a recent video on social media breaching COVID-19 protocols at a birthday celebration, has tendered her resignation from all government boards. Hilton, who was advisor to Floyd Green, former Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, is the third person to resign following the circulation of the video, which was reportedly recorded on a No Movement Day. Her resignation followed that of former Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green and that of Andrew Bellamy, who resigned from his committees in the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation and the board of the Southeast Regional Health Authority. In a statement shared to her social media page, Hilton said, "All day, I have been thinking long and hard about what to say in relation to the video circulating with me on social media. The truth is, there is no words that can cauterize the wounds created from the perception that we are not in fact all equal in the law of land. I accept that a grave error in judgment was made. I have worked with Floyd for many years, and I have learned many lessons from him, the greatest of which was taught today. That is, as difficult as it is, we must face our wrongs head on and acknowledge it, that it be only fair that we are held to the same level of accountability as others. I was wrong. Many of you are disappointed in me, but I am even more disappointed in myself for my actions and for the role I have played in stripping Jamaica of a good leader. I am honored to have served under his leadership for numerous years. He is a man of great character, and I pray he will be given the opportunity to serve Jamaica once more." Resigned Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says he will work twice as hard to regain the trust of Jamaicans.
Since entering representational politics, I've tried to ensure that my work speaks for me. I've approached each task diligently and honestly, and I've treated everybody with respect. I know a number of you are disappointed. I've disappointed my family, my constituency, my Prime Minister, and my country, and for that I am sorry. I made a grave error of judgment. I was wrong, especially at a time when we are fighting to keep the COVID-19 pandemic under control. And as such, I met with the Prime Minister earlier and withdrew from the cabinet. I know I will have to work doubly as hard to regain your trust and your confidence, but I'm committed to do that and to serve the people of St. Elizabeth Southwestern. I am sorry, and I apologize unreservedly to my family, my Prime Minister, my colleagues, but more importantly, I apologize to the people of Jamaica.
Prime Minister Holness speaks about viral video with Floyd Green.
We were all disappointed in seeing the video, and Minister Green himself, having reflected upon it, also expressed his own disappointment and recommitted to ensuring that no such other incident ever occurred. So I think the nation acknowledges it, he acknowledges it, and he has apologized sincerely for it. Nevertheless, the society in which we live in is one where the fault lines surround social justice, the rule of law, and equality under the law. For us to properly manage this pandemic, enforcement is not the tool. We don't have the resources to enforce on every single Jamaican. We manage this pandemic because we have managed to build tremendous social capital. We have managed to get the people on board to follow the protocols, to follow the orders under the DRMA. So we have not relied heavily on enforcement. We have relied on the trust and confidence of the people in voluntary compliance. And to a large degree, most Jamaicans have complied to some extent. If there is any break in that synergy between the executive authority giving the mandates, the orders under the DRMA, and the confidence that we ourselves are not just preaching, but doing what we're preaching. If there's a break in that, and people start to feel that we are saying one thing, but doing another, then the level of voluntary compliance will fall. And it will become difficult to manage the pandemic in the way which we have done, which is by getting public support, by and large, behind the measures. And I think Minister Green recognized this, that it was important that ministers exemplify the law, and what he did is admirable in offering his resignation, and indeed there was no option other than to, it was the right thing, and he did the right thing. It is a loss for the cabinet. Minister Green shows great potential, and a part of our discussion was how we could utilize the experience that he would have gained in government in other areas, because everybody, our society is one where forgiveness is part of our ethos, our outlook, and Minister Green would have the opportunity to work in other areas. We'll finalize that later on today as to where else we could utilize his talents and the experience that he has been. I'm really very sorry that this has happened.
Persons shared their views about Floyd Green's resignation.
When I woke up this morning and heard of the video and saw it, I realized immediately the impact that it would have and how unfortunate of a situation it was.
We expect better from Mr. Green still. You set better example.
Well, I think it is justified because there's no movement here. It's like you're a thief and a kitchen. So the law is going to take its course. They ain't going to do better. You never know better than the government man.
We expect him to show some example because pandemic are really out on. And as a minister, set a better example for you.
After that prison, they know too big to go to prison. Yeah. And then forgot. And go better and do better.
He under the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party, which is Andrew Holness, and to do that thing and say anybody test on the street must be a penalty. So it must be a penalty.
Everybody can forgive him. Okay. Because none of us are perfect. And we can get forgiven.
One thing I always see our party go without mask. I don't teach like a worry. I
really kind of feel hurt by it because I'm good employee in that division.
He's a great member of parliament, but he's really disappointed the people of Jamaica by mocking me.
As one little something happened, they call down resign from him. He need a chance, sir. He need a chance. Everybody need a chance. They can give him a chance. He's a good man.
Not in a parliament because I'm seeing Prime Minister do that backlash, so he must take me.
If it happen, he's the first. So them can give him a chance. And he won't do it again.
And we need Green.
And we need him down here. We don't want him to resign. Because me not think we are going to get one other MP like Floyd Green, to be honest.
The truth is that Floyd has been a very vibrant and dynamic member of parliament, and to his credit, he did the honorable thing. I'm not a political historian, but in my mind, I don't know if we've ever had closure to something as quickly as this. Whereas, literally within a few hours, he and the Prime Minister sat down and I think decided together that in the best interest of the country, that the right thing to do at this particular time was to step aside.
Government senator has fixed-term contracts in his crosshairs. Veteran trade unionist and government senator Cavan Gale says to help tackle the problem of employers using fixed-term contracts to exploit workers and even fire them unfairly, he will be proposing amendment to the law to make it illegal. I do believe that the precarious nature of fixed-term contracts exposes a lot of workers to their threats of dismissal and terminations, and so it is natural for employers who are normally exploiters to use this opportunity. I am doing some reviews in terms of other legislations to see how we can amend our legislation to protect workers against the exploitation of this precarious nature of employment, Gill stated. According to the senator, who is also President General of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union and executive member of the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, employees who would have been working for extended periods on roll-out contracts should be guaranteed some security of tenure. Describing the experiences of these workers as frightening to see, Senator Gill said, "I came across a fixed-term contract recently that speaks to a monthly turnaround, and there was a particular clause in it that gave rise to the employer being able to terminate that employee without notice. So you have a lot of employers in this country who have created this level of exploitation, and it must cease to exist." The state, he said, is also guilty of these offenses, pointing out that one of the things that I am also promoting is where, in the public sector in government, these contracts need to change to ensure security of tenure, because you have workers in the public sector who are working alongside their colleagues in similar jobs, and they have been permanently working temporarily, so that must change. Added Senator Gill, one of the reasons for this is that these persons in the public sector do not qualify to be part of the pension scheme, and so it exposes them to that level of risk at this time when it's badly needed. And you know, public sector workers are committed. They stay in the sector for years, and so it's unfair to them to be employed in that nature over that extended period. This is one of the provisions that the trade unions in the negotiation on behalf of the Confederation have placed clearly on the table on behalf of public sector workers, and I believe there has been a favorable response by the government to deal with it under the compensation review that is coming up, he added. As things presently stand, Gill said, fixed-term contracts in the way they have been used cannot be called illegal. There is no law against it to make it illegal. So, putting provisions in place to make it illegal is what we intend to do, he said. Earlier this month, another veteran trade unionist and president of the Union of Clerical, Administrative and Supervisory Employees, Vincent Morrison, said that the subject was one that the body intend to raise with Labour and Security Minister Carl Sumuda should be granted the meeting that they've been requesting since August. The fixed-term contracts, it's terrible. I have seen so many tears coming from people who lose their job, and these are persons with like 20-odd years service. These are persons who have served organization for years. I think that is cruel. Employers have been using it, Morrison said, in referring to the terminations carried out since the novel coronavirus pandemic. Parliament has to intervene. Parliament can intervene and put legislations in place to manage it. Japan realized what was happening to their workforce, and so they stepped in to put in legislations to say that the employer cannot give their employee more than 2 fixed-term contracts, Morrison stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.